like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know he happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toe.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 from FedEx Field here in Landover. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Washington Redskins. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards in the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 3rd down, it's Hines. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hustle, we're walking. We're all walking. Hey, 20.
First carry for Darius Geis. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the ground, it's Geis. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Tannehill able to take off and pick up the first as well.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try the air now with Tannehill. Steps away to his left. Uncorks one for Davis. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Breeze on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And here come the Redskins now. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Buying time is left. Pass incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Tannehill on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete. Eli Apple, good to the core there as he gets in and knocks it away. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And he rifles one incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. Akello Witherspoon, really good coverage from the Colorado man, getting a hand in on it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To throw is Tannehill. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. 1st down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
It's up. 47's the mic. 47's the mic. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
3rd and long. It's Tannehill. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A first update now from Cincinnati, and the Bengals out to the early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Shotgun now for Breeze. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths, the depth.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
Quick. Where you at?
They start on the ground with Geis, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Tannehill, eluding the pressure right. That is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10. Tannehill once more. And this is going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, Just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. If you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. That's taken on the 25. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out now come the Redskins. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Let's go, get set. Zebra.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Play action, it's Tannehill. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Breeze going to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. To throw is Breeze. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Just keeping the play alive. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Saints on third down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
21.
Now, Breeze again. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Being chased out left. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They start the second half with a run by Geis. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Forced out to his left. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. That's caught inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 24. He's at the 40. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
To throw, it's Breeze. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is, and this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we got a backup who's warmed up and has come into the game, so you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there for Washington. 45 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than a defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Escaping the pressure right. And Reed with it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Tannehill steps away to his left, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 18. They begin the drive with Hines. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Ready. You ready?
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
95-56.
On 3rd down, that's Hines. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Left. Monday. 21. 11. Hey, two.
On 1st down, Breeze. Space to maneuver at the 40. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And all the way up to the 46. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. And even 50 yards. Back in the first quarter, you said it. They need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Breeze now. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. Tannehill on first down. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 65 yards. On first down, Tannehill. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Tannehill. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his second touchdown on the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ready. We're waiting.
Breeze now on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Now Breeze throwing on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Got it. 21.
On first and 10, here's Breeze. Room to run past midfield. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Looking long for Thomas. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
21. 13.
Breeze to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Saints on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Got it.
Again, it's Breeze. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Matt Ioannidis able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
12. You're good. 5-4, ready. 36.
The Saints do snap it. It's Breeze. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would because
under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. Looking long for his tight end. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Here's Tannehill. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They run with Hines, and he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Arnold. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
You're good, you're good. Right ball, ready. Got it. 12, 11. 11. 21.
Bree's going to try and throw on third down. And he fires one, but incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Redskins offense now. They head back onto the field.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. An excellent way to start the drive there. 18 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jabal Sheard in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on third and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Desperation time for Tannehill on fourth down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Saints are going to win this football game. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a...
And this is caught, and that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
3
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Run.
2nd and 10, Tannehill once more. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Now a desperation throw deep down. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now it's Tannehill, eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. To throw is Tannehill. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we've just seen, I think they're throwing. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown. But probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And the Saints are going to get to this one, so that should about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you